Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Giant Sports Talk Live here early in the AM on Monday.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I wear a hat every morning, Eric. I just rolled out of bed, pal. I don't know why you look so bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
I don't have that long hair, so it's not so bad.
Oh, jeez, man. Whose idea was it to do an early morning show? Tape this thing at 7:30 a.m.
Hey, it is what it is.
It was mine, wasn't it?
It's
stupid question.
Let's get into we'll recap a little bit what happened with the Giants yesterday. It was a disappointing loss. Hoping for that sweep. But of course, we'll break down today's games. Today's going to be a great game in Oracle Park. You got two left-handed gunslingers taking the mound, Chris Sale and Blake Snell. But we'll get into that more later. Let's get into what happened yesterday afternoon. Glenn, you were there live at Oracle Park. Tell us about what you saw at the game.
It was not the most outstanding start for Birdsong, the youngster. You could tell right out of the gate, right from the first batter, that he was going to have a rough day, Eric. Threw one to Matt Verling, and he saw it all the way. He hit the leadoff home run against Hayden Birdsong, and it was that kind of day. You just know it's that kind of day. It was that kind of day for Birdsong. Fell behind early in the ball game, and it was a tough go. The Tigers scored in the first. Giants did come back with a couple, only to have Detroit bounce on Birdsong again for a couple of runs. So it was a 3-2 lead, and then Detroit later on, fifth inning, tacked on a few more. And, it was just that kind of pesky performance from the Tigers to avoid the sweep in the ball game at Oracle Park. I was there. It was not the best game. The fans were a little ornery. It was Star Wars Day. People were wearing, look, I'm only going to do this one more time, folks, so savor it because I ain't wearing it anymore. Everybody was wearing these hats, so I'm going to go back. How about this one? I'm going to go back with this.
Let's stick with the traditional.
Good morning. Yeah. So, 5-4 Detroit victory yesterday. What did you see as far as bright spots yesterday, Eric?
Bright spots? Well, you had Tyler Fitzgerald led off. He had 2 hits today in that leadoff spot. Like to see that. Again, that guy can win you a bunch of games different ways. He's got some power. He's got his speed. His defense has been pretty good. But, yeah, I'd like to see him at the lead. Hopefully they keep him at the leadoff spot because I like what he's doing up there. Matt Chapman, even though he had a horrible 8th inning with that running gaff, after hitting that leadoff triple, but he had a good day with the bat. I mean, he had 3 hits, had 3 RBIs. I mean, you can't argue with that. The guy produced. Unfortunately, and I think kind of alluding to what you're talking about with the fans being a little ornery, let me guess, it was probably after the 8th inning where people were probably getting a little bit tiresome of what was happening on the base paths and the inability of being able to get that hit with runners in scoring position. But hey, it's over with. The Giants could have capitalized. They weren't able to. But guess what? Today, or I should say tonight, they get right back at it. They're going to go against a team that's just ahead of them, the Atlanta Braves, and it's going to be interesting to see how this works out.
It's a 6:45 start over at Oracle Park. I've got my tickets. How many of you out there in our viewership have tickets to tonight's pitching gem? Chris Sale, he's 13-3 for the Braves, Eric. Hard to argue that number.
Hard to argue.
And Blake Snell. Blake has really come on strong, hasn't he? It's sort of like he's just gotten his real regular season underway. He had no spring training. He came out kind of stumbling, then the injuries. He looks good the last couple of starts. He's 2-3, but this looks to be one of the greatest pitching matches you'll see in a ball game all season, Eric.
It's going to be really good. It's going to be excellent. I'm looking forward to watching that game, see how it's going to be. And I got a feeling it may be a low-scoring game. Who knows? It's baseball.
Who knows?
Anything can happen. Anything can happen. Last time the Giants faced Chris Sale wasn't pretty. He was in Atlanta. It was not pretty. So we'll see how the Giants fare this time on the second go-around. Again, this has bigger implications because here we're in the middle of August, right? We're in that hunt for that wild card. So it should be a lot of fun tonight to watch that game.
Yeah, it's going to be 62 degrees Fahrenheit at opening pitch. Winds a little brisk, 13 miles per hour out to center. And as the game progresses, I can tell you firsthand, sitting in that ballpark by the 5th, the 6th, the 8th inning, gets damper and it gets colder. So hopefully our bats will come out quick against Chris Sale. Again, he enters the game at 13-3. The left-hander's having a hell of a season. And right now, I think it's the numbers, pitching rankings, that actually have Atlanta in the Vegas odds to win.
Makes sense. Makes sense. I mean, Chris Sale, he's an ace. He may be your Cy Young. He may be your National League Cy Young this year. We'll see how that works out.
On NBC Bay Area, your regular cast of characters calling the game, and of course, over on KNBR. All right. Take a look around Major League Baseball. What else is going on?
Let's do it. Let's see what they got going around the league today. All right. Right off the top, Chicago versus Cleveland at Cleveland. You got Shota Imanaga, who's been having a good season. You know, his rookie season in the MLB, he's doing pretty well against Ben Lively. We'll see how that pans out. Chicago, they're on a winning streak. I think they've won 4 in a row. Again, that's a team that's chasing the Giants. So keep an eye on the Chicago Cubs.
You know, right about the same time, 3:30 or so, people will be filing into their seats at the Great American Ballpark for Cincinnati and St. Louis. Today, the Cardinals go with Sonny Gray. Andrew Abbott is pitching today at 9-9 for the Cincinnati Reds. He's not having a bad year. By the way, Gray is 11-6. That's not bad either.
Yeah,
Tickets low at $6. You want to get on a cheap flight, fly over to Cincinnati in a hurry, catch that game? Don't even bother, because you can stick around. We'll again recap what's going on tonight at Oracle. You won't want to miss that one, Eric.
Exactly. You got St. Louis Cardinals. Again, that's a team just ahead of the Giants in standings. Cincinnati is playing catch up to the Giants. So maybe root for Cincinnati on that one if you're a Giants fan. Then down in Tampa Bay, got Houston Astros. Facing Tampa Bay Rays. Be Framber Valdez, who remember, he was 1 out away from a no-hitter the last time he took the mound. So should be interesting against Taj Bradley down in Tampa Bay. Really no implications as far as the National League wildcard standings.
Boston is looking for their 62nd win of the year. They've silently, Eric, had a pretty good year on the field. Boston at 61-55. They'll be back at Fenway Park. And if you want to catch some baseball prior to the Giants game, the game will be on ESPN as Tyler Malley will pitch for Texas. I'm trying to read it here. Brayan
Bello.
All right. I don't know much about Brayan Bello. I can't tell you he's 10-5. I don't have the ERA available.
Yep. There you go. And then we also got another battle over here, Kansas City at Minnesota. That's going to be a good game. You got Brady Singer versus Pablo Lopez. Should be a good game. Kansas City again. Both Kansas City and Minnesota. You know, they're looking to try to get into some playoff picture as well. Kansas City, I think, is 2nd or 3rd. Minnesota, I think, is leading AL Central, if I'm not mistaken.
So at 5:10 this afternoon, this is Eric. I don't think people deep down would go, wait a sec. These two teams are evenly matched. Milwaukee is 67-50. And the Dodgers are 69-49. This one's up for grabs. And I think a lot of people will question the pitching matchup. Freddie Peralta is 7-6. The right-hander goes for Milwaukee. This will be interesting. Clayton Kershaw. He's back, but he committed the gate 0-2. This is another start trying to get his first win of the year. Something that is becoming fewer and fewer. Dodgers not as consistently winning ball games, Eric. That game,
they're not.
Afternoon, 5:10 in Milwaukee.
Speaking of that, you got the Padres and the Arizona Diamondbacks breathing down the Dodgers' neck as far as taking the lead from the NL West. But currently, Dodgers are leading the NL West. Milwaukee is leading the NL Central. So this should be a good matchup between two division leaders. Down in Chicago, this game's not going to matter. I think we know the outcome of this one just by looking at it. You got the New York Yankees versus the Chicago White Sox, the lowly Chicago White Sox. You got Luis Gil going against Kai Busch. I think we probably got a good idea of where this game is going to head.
Yeah, you would assume, but I've learned never bet on baseball.
Yeah, it is.
Never bet on ball.
You shouldn't. You'd be bad. All right.
Toronto Blue Jays, they'll head out on the road. They just hosted the Oakland A's from over in the East Bay. Yesterday, Oakland posted a big victory over Toronto, getting out of the gate with 6 early runs.
They won that series, I believe, right?
Jays, Yep. The Blue Jays, they head out west. They had a long flight. They're in Anaheim. The Los Angeles Angels will host the Blue Jays. Bowden Francis for the Jays. Davis Daniel will pitch tonight for Los Angeles. I'd have more fun at Disneyland than I would at that.
I think you're right. I think I'd take it. Let's go to Disneyland instead of watching Bowden Francis and Davis Daniel. Look, nothing against them.
Did I wear my hat at Disneyland? Do I fit right in?
You would fit right in with your your Yoda hat. Yes, correct. Colorado at Arizona. Ooh, that might be beneficial to Arizona. Colorado's not exactly playing very good, even though they had the huge come from behind win at home against the Braves. So maybe they got a little bit of momentum, but you got the Rockies versus the Diamondbacks in Arizona. It's going to be Cal Quantrill versus Brandon Pfaadt. We'll see how that one pans out. Arizona still may be in their winning ways. We'll see.
Colorado's only 44-75. But at this time of the year, Eric, mid to late August into September, there's always those sneaky little teams that can throw the banner into everything and mess all things up for those teams.
They can wrench it up, no doubt about it.
Maybe they'll help us out. Colorado, as you mentioned, is in Arizona, and one would assume Colorado would win, but we'll have to wait. You can join us on Giant Sports Talk Live tonight for a complete update on that one. What else we got? Pittsburgh, oh boy, ESPN Plus matchup. San Diego hosting Pittsburgh, the Pirates. They are 1-9 in their last 10. They will be on the road with Marco Gonzalez, the left-hander, at 1-1 up against Joe Musgrove. He hasn't had a great year. 3-4, and his ERA is 5.66.
Yeah, I think he's had some injuries, and he's had a tough year. You know, one thing about the
Pittsburgh too, 80 degrees and light winds out to right field, going to help the Bats. Petco Park, the place to be for a good ball game tonight. If you are in San Diego, Padres hosting the Pittsburgh Pirates, another game that will affect the wild card standings.
Yep, and even though Pittsburgh, I think they lost 7 in a row. They played the Dodgers hard. It's not like they didn't give up. I mean, there's a couple of games where the Dodgers only won by 1 run. So, look, the Pittsburgh isn't slouching. Again, they're chasing the Giants as well. So we'll see how that works out in San Diego.
Yesterday's game went to extras.
Yeah, exactly. So they're playing good
ball.
Team.
Another team. Never, ever count out the pesky little teams this time of the year.
Absolutely. And, of course, we've already talked about what's going to transpire down in Oracle Park tomorrow night. Chris Sale versus...
Tonight, we got San Francisco and the Braves. I'm looking forward to it tonight, Eric.
Yep, should be a lot of fun.
Yep.
Should be a lot of fun.
I'm going to be at the game. If anybody in the Bay Area wants to meet me, I'm usually hanging around at the big Coke bottle before the game, despite the fact that I do drink a nice cold Pepsi early in the morning. get the sugars in me.
There you go.
I'll be at the Coke bottle tonight. I'll be wearing the Wilmer Flores jersey, I believe. Should I go Wilmer Flores or Rogers tonight? Maybe I'll go Rogers because, Wilmer's on the shelf.
Yeah, he's done for the year. Maybe you got to change it up. Keep it up, man.
Open for me. I'll go with a Rogers jersey, whether it's Tyler, Taylor, I have no idea. I'll pull one out of the closet. It'll be a mystery to me. And if you spot me, make sure you say hi. If you spot myself or Eric at any game, all you do, come up, say hi. We'd love to meet all of you who join us, not only in the mornings, but those who spend time with us in the chat weeknights when we go live. Giant Sports Talk live weeknights at 8 when we're on the road or an early start. Tonight might be a little bit later, Eric, as we get the game underway at 6:45.
Absolutely. All right, guys, make sure you join us at Giant Sports Talk Live for the post-game coverage of the first game versus the Giants and the Atlanta Braves. Again, wild card implications. It's that time of the year. So let's see if the Giants could get a win, try to get ahead of those Atlanta Braves and start working their way towards a wild card.
I'm trying to tomahawk chalk you here. It's not working.
It's not working, man.
We'll just stick.
There you go.
See you tonight, Eric.
All right. See you tonight, Glenn. Woo!